What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and I hope you guys had a really amazing Christmas. And today we're going to be going over something that I've been getting a lot of requests from in my recent videos in the comments. You guys really love Arma Reforger, and now that it's on PS5, you guys are like kind of hyped for a lot of good reasons. And today I'm going to be answering those questions that you guys have been asking me, which is how do I set up my own custom scenarios? And let me already know that it's using the Game Master. So that's what I'm going to show you guys today. So if you're going to enjoy this video, as always, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. And if you guys didn't know, I do have a channel membership. So if you want to support me not for free, it's $5 a month. You don't have to, it's totally up to you. If you guys want to support me for free by dropping a like on the video and subscribing, that does just as much, so I do appreciate it. It's up to you guys. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so now that we're in the main menu of Arma Reforged, you guys are going to want to hit play. You're going to notice a couple different game modes. We got Game Master, Conflict, and Training. You're going to want to go to Game Master. Okay, so now that we're loaded up in the Game Master, you're going to notice there's a lot. Like a lot. Oh, I'm already hearing explosions, which is really weird. I think it's because I already have stuff placed. Okay, hold up. We're going to get rid of this stuff. By the way, if you're ever wanting to basically just clear everything that you're doing, you can either hit pause and hit restart, or you can hit up on your D-pad and you can hit new, which they both do the same thing. So it's whatever you find quicker. Oh, and if you're ever trying to get, cool thumbnails or pictures for Arma, my recommendation is to come into Game Master, hit up on your D-pad, and then go to this option here. And you get a nice clear interface, and yeah, it really allows for some pretty cool scenic screenshots, just in case you guys didn't know. Anyway, back to the video. So obviously, like I said, I need to clear all this. If you guys take a look, the island is kind of massive, especially when you're on foot. I mean, when I'm scrolling around this fast in an editor, obviously it doesn't seem as big, but trust me, it's huge. There are also 2 maps in the game, just so you guys know. Currently, this is the one that we have an editor available for. So you guys are probably wondering, how do you make actual scenarios and how do you set stuff up? How does it all work? What do you do? And then the controls and everything are pretty confusing, and there are settings for a lot of different things, and yeah, there's a lot. So make sure you follow along. For the most part, a lot of you guys are probably wanting to just make some simple tactical situations, or just basically bum rushing enemies, or whatever the case may be. That's great. First things first, if you hold down your options button or your pause button, you have edit scenario properties. Now, this is a really useful feature because in here, you can choose what factions are actually playable. So obviously America, Russia, and some civilians. You can also head over to the game settings. There's a global supply usage, which basically just means that supplies will be used by everybody. You can have it so respawns are not enabled. I would prefer respawns, but it's up to you guys. So spawning near radio operators allows you to basically, if you're running your own server and a player is the radio operator, you can just spawn on them, which is pretty useful. First is a respawn time that you can have set up. So if you want to make it like instant, then you can. You can also go through respawn budget type, either supplies, fixed amount, or just unlimited. Kill feed type, you can disable it entirely, killer and the killed, or unknown. But if you want to make it realistic, you can turn it off. There's also global arsenal mode, which can be either conflict or unrestricted. You can also choose what arsenal types are available, so vehicles, ammo, etc. And you can also choose item, loadout, saving, server-wide ambient music, vehicle decommission action, basically whether or not players will be able to decommission vehicles at vehicle maintenance points. Pretty cool. Another really useful feature is the time and date. This one's really cool because if, like I said, for me anyway, taking thumbnails or maybe just take cool screenshots, you can set up the exact time and weather. So we could go what appears to be kind of sunset, night, and more night, or early morning, and midday. Pretty cool. You can also actually edit how fast time progresses. Now, I want to be clear that during nighttime, it's like really long. So if you prefer to just play during the day and you want a custom scenario that just takes place at daytime, you can just turn this off and then set the time to whatever you want. And now it'll just stay that time, which is pretty cool. Same with weather. So if you want to, you could set extra sunny, cloudy, really cloudy, and rainy. By the way, storms can actually have lightning strike and it can kill. So pretty cool. We're gonna go sunny though, because it looks nice. As well as automated wind, which is cool. You can adjust wind speed. Yeah, and then if you go to the next tab, we have the general entity. So basically this is like fuel consumption rate. If you didn't know, vehicles in this game do run out of fuel, which is also cool and realistic, but also maybe you think they run out of fuel too fast or not fast enough. That's up to you. You can enable unconsciousness. basically, instead of just immediately dying, there's a chance that sometimes you might just get knocked out and lay unconscious on the ground. You can turn that off or you can leave it on. I personally think leaving it on is more realistic, but at the same time, it is totally up to you guys. There's also a global bleed rate and regeneration speed, so like how fast you heal and how fast you bleed. So yeah. And that's basically it for the scenario properties, which is pretty much it. Now, another section that you guys are going to want to know is, you're probably wondering right off the bat, how do I spawn in and like run around? Maybe I just want to get a screenshot. That's all I want to do. That's as far in the video as I think I want to get. Okay, well, I got you covered. So what you're going to want to do, open up your entity browser, which at the bottom right above light anti-tank, it says to hit touchpad. For Xbox, it's probably your, whatever the opposite of your pause button is. So just hit that. And if you find something like a random US soldier or a rifleman or maybe a team leader, for example, you'll notice that if you tap and hold X or A on Xbox, I really don't know Xbox controllers. I'm going to just get a layout of one, so when I'm making these videos, I know how to tell you guys what buttons to click. Basically, when you place it down with this bottom button on the right side, it'll set any character that you're highlighted as yourself. And if you hold down touchpad and triangle, or whatever the opposite of options and Y is, that's it. You're now playing as this character. Also, as you notice, the wind speed is working, so everything's just super windy. Honestly, really realistic. I mean, for those that still do go outside, you will understand that wind is very windy. Like I said, pretty cool thumbnails. So, you know what? Maybe we'll even just use this as a thumbnail for the video. And yeah, everything works as normal. Although I do have a couple HUD elements turned off, I think. But other than that, you can still take off your gun attachments, attach them again, all the regular stuff. So, and also if you hit the same button again, so whatever the opposite of options on Xbox is, and touchpad, as well as Y or triangle, boom, you go back to this. And you'll notice that everything's still playing, like everything's like active, like your character's slightly kind of idly breathing, maybe kind of moving around slightly, as well as the wind and stuff like that. If you hit up on your D-pad, you can pause all that. So if maybe you want to place stuff down without enemies shooting each other immediately, maybe you just want to have NPCs fight it out and see what happens, it's good to pause, because then they won't just immediately start fighting, because they will if they see each other. It's annoying. Trust me. I tried getting thumbnails doing that, and it is just a big mess after, and yeah. Now they got our player down. Maybe what we want to do is go up to this little town, fill it up with enemies, so we have something to fight. For starters, we're going to need a way to get there. So either if you wanted, you could just go on foot, totally up to you guys. Or if you open your entity browser, and you head over to the vehicles tab at the far right, you'll notice there's like a lot of vehicles. So we got a bunch of Jeeps, Humvees, ambulances, cargo type transport trucks, Humvees with guns on them, helicopters, also an APC, which is really cool. Some civilian vehicles as well, and some what appear to be fuel trucks, which is also pretty cool. You can also place down machine guns, which is, again, also really cool. You'll notice that this map editor is like insanely fun to play around with, even if you're just kind of messing around, nothing serious, a lot of fun. So anyway, we need something to get around, so we're gonna get ourselves a Jeep. So once you click on the Jeep, you can rotate it if you hold down your top right bumper on your controller. So pretend you're looking at your controller like this, top right bumper, hold it, use your left stick to rotate. If you want to take the same vehicle and just move it around rather than just deleting it and placing a new one, either square on PlayStation or X on Xbox, you'll notice you highlight it again, click it again, that's it. That's all you gotta do to move stuff like that. Same with people as well, pretty easy. That's how you move stuff around. By the way, if you didn't know, if you want to get to an area on the map faster in the editor, going up high in the sky like this gets you there incredibly faster than it does when you're low to the ground. And the only reason for that is because when you're higher up, obviously the game renders less, allowing for more speed, of course. So that's why you can do that. But we are way over here, and the place we want to be attacking is way over here. So what we're going to do, if you're wondering what these are just flexible static positions in the game world that you can place stuff on that will basically snap to it. That's pretty much all it is. You don't really need to do much with these, just so you guys know. We're in Arleville, or however you'd like to pronounce it. And maybe you want to make it kind of realistic. Maybe you want to add, I don't know, maybe some civilian vehicles parked out of some of these places here. Kind of like this. Let's add another one. Open up our menu again. Add a van. Just like that. And then if you wanted, you could kind of just, you know, fill the streets up with cars. Stuff like that. You don't have to get in them if you don't want, but obviously it is cover that makes more sense than just staying inside of a building. So also, if you want to make things interesting, and I mean interesting, you could set up something like an M60 at the top of the hill here, rotate it around. If you look where the gun's pointing, now these guns don't get to turn left and right as hard as you think. So if we go like around, I don't know, around here, like that maybe. What you'll notice is if we place in our entity browser here and we go over to the people and we go to a Russian. So if you take a, let's say, machine gunner and place him right here, and to make things a little more difficult, you could take a machine gunner assistant and place him here. So you're probably wondering, well, what's the point of the machine gunner assistant? The machine gunner assistant is going to keep this guy stocked up on ammo. So basically, the reason why we put him at the point at the end of the street here is that while we're walking up or driving up, this guy's just going to let loose. I mean, this guy's just going to start firing on everything in sight, and you got to just get in cover. You got to hide in a building. You got to figure it out. That's just the way we're going to go with this. So to make it a little more realistic, I'm thinking we're going to add some enemy vehicles as well, some Russian stuff. So I'm thinking we're going to add like a transport truck somewhere kind of like over like here maybe, kind of parked up. It's like that. Jeeps as well, kind of indicate that like, hey, you know, there's enemies here. So there we go. So then we got some Jeeps outside of this house. I think this house here we might put some enemies inside. So if we go into the entity browser again, we could get like, by the way, this is something that's actually really important, is there's a difference between enemies. So you can place down specifically groups of enemies or individual people. So, and another thing that is also really important, whatever you put down as your character, how I told you guys how to do that, where you just tap and hold. So if you do that with a Russian NPC, you will now be immediately enemies with Americans and vice versa. That's, so if you put down an American, these guys are immediately going to be enemies. Like, just, that's just how it is. So just so you guys know, that's how it works. Also, if you want, you can place down some civilians as well if you want to make it kind of realistic. So you'll have to kind of keep an eye out for civilians, of course. Oh, and another super important thing, at the very bottom right of the screen, you guys will notice there are percentages in little circles. That's going to be your memory value, I guess. Think of Far Cry's map editor, basically. You have a limit on what you can put down. It's a lot, but it's still limited for pretty good reasons. So I want to go for a breach and clear style type of mission. So I'm thinking we're going to have some civilians inside of the buildings, and then in the top floor we're going to have some enemies. I think this will make for some really unique gameplay where we have to actually kind of breach and clear a building. Not gonna lie, a lot of special forces guy in here as well, and then down below we'll add an automatic rifleman. It's kind of standing at the bottom of these stairs here, and then you get this really cool dynamic that when you come into this house, you gotta really watch. Like, there's gonna be a guy on the stairs, and you gotta try not to shoot these civilians, right? So you can create some really cool scenarios. Like, just in this one house, there's a whole lot going on, as well as this situation that will be very, very, very deadly. Like, very deadly. Okay, so we got that all done. So, what we want to do now to make this really interesting is we want to place down some pretty large amounts of enemies, because of course we want to make this interesting. Like I said, we want to make this realistic. We want to make like a crazy huge battle going on in a town that we're trying to reclaim. Pretty sick. So we're gonna place down these guys right here, and then we're gonna go and place down another group. You know, let's put a light fire team down. Let's put a light fire team down guarding the, how about out here? We got like some guys that are just kind of chilling, just doing their thing. Maybe they got a vehicle with them. They got their little Jeep. They're just kind of chilling. And maybe you also want to give yourself a friendly to help you fight all these bad guys. So what we could do is take a special forces officer, for example, and we just got to go put him over with us. So we're gonna hold down R1 again, kind of point him in this direction. There we go. So another thing that is also another really good point that I'd like to make for you guys is, if you go up to like an AI or whatever yourself, maybe if you tap and, while looking at them, tap and hold triangle or Y, if you look at them and press square or X, you'll notice that you have this little wheel pop up. So this you can obviously neutralize, so you know, kill, stop bleeding, start bleeding, resupply them, heal them, play as them, teleport, move their camera. You can ping them, edit their properties, find in the browser, or just to straight up delete them. So we're gonna go to edit properties. So to do that, hover over with your right stick like this and hit your shoot button. So that's R2 on PS5 and I think RB on Xbox. So what this lets us do is you have an amount of blood. So blood is something that when you get shot, it'll start going down. Obviously, when you run out of blood, you die. So you're gonna have to stop the bleeding. However, if you want to make it easier, you can give yourself more blood. So just click on this, override the settings. We can add a regeneration speed, bleeding rate, and enable unconsciousness for specific entities, which is pretty cool. So now that we've done all this, what do we do? How does everything work? Well, to play it, well, for starters, if you want, you can actually save these. So you can save these as your own custom things that you can always go back into and play. So if you sat here for like 10 hours making something, for the love of everything, please save it. I would hate to see someone come into the comments on my video and say like, I'm not gonna lie, I just spent 10 hours making a Spec Ops mission, super awesome, didn't save it, it's completely gone, thinking of deleting the game. That'd be terrible. I don't want to see anyone having to do that. So make sure you save what you're doing. All right, so next up, we're just gonna hit touchpad and hold triangle, or the other thing on Xbox. You'll notice now, well, we're just out in a field. We're just chilling. So yeah, this is our boy Mark Collins. You know what, we're just gonna leave him here. Unless you're prepared for war, Mark. We're gonna hop in our Jeep here. By the way, my last video I told you guys, in order to start a car, you need to look down and start the engine. Technically speaking, someone made a comment, all right, I'm gonna be real, and they were like, actually, you don't gotta do that, all right? You can just hold down the drive button and it'll just ignite the engine. Of course, but that's not as fun than manually starting the engine. That's way cooler, okay? All right. See you later, man. Let's go. Everyone, enemies are just over the hill, so we're gonna hop out here. Oh, they see us. Oh, they see us. They see us. Ooh, oh, we got you, buddy. Oh, we got you. Oh, or they're prone down. I still see you. You know that, right? Oh, where's the other guy? Oh, there you are. You're one. There's still more. Let's reload. Hey, Sergeant. Mark. Oh, Mark's pushing in. Mark's pushing in. Holy. Get ready, Mark. I don't know where this other guy is. Oh, there he is. Okay, they're not going to be dead. Some of them just got knocked out, so they're going to just be wounded. I think these two guys up here... These two... I think this guy's... Hold up. Did we get... Oh, crap. What are you shooting at? Okay, we're good. We didn't get a pistol, because we forgot to do that. So, double check these guys are dead. This guy's dead. This guy... So, you'll know they're alive still, because if you try to walk through them, they won't allow you to. Mark Collins? Oh, crap. Mark Collins is still alive. I think I lost my gun. I got knocked out. So yeah, if you get shot, like I was saying, you can just go, make sure you deselect from your character, hold X, and then you can just go heal. Boom, we're good. Go back in the game, pick our gun up here. Okay, my gun got shot, which is not good. We got enemies on the road. Try to get this guy. Oh, we're deflecting off his helmet. Come on, dude. We're actually deflecting. Oh, I think he's dead now. Okay, come on. Oh, we're getting shots here. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna run. We're gonna run to the... Oh! Yeah, obviously, I mean, you know, try to pick and choose where you're starting off at. Obviously, being in the middle of a field with all these enemies just running into just, you know, us. Obviously, that's gonna be a bit much. So maybe I should have started off, like, behind this wall or, you know, somewhere else where I can have more time to kind of decide how I'm gonna be doing this. But I think you guys get the point. So say you do die and you're like not really a huge fan of wanting to just immediately that they're trying to revive your character that you were playing as. For example, Rifleman, you could just place down another version of you and immediately start playing again. And that's basically all you have to do. Ooh, we got laid out though. And then literally as easy as it is, we can get Sniper, for example. Boom. Obviously we have no cover. So, you know, being in the middle of a field with that many enemies, you're going to die. That's just how it is. Welcome to Arma. It's a realistic shooter, but yeah. So there we go. That's basically it. Now, if we go back into town, it looks like all these enemies may have actually disappeared on us here. So if we go to the random US soldier, we come to this town. Obviously, these guys left. Oh, looks like we got a M60 here. Alrighty. So looks like these two civilians are, I'd say, hopefully okay. I know this is kind of a simple way of putting how to use Game Master, but this is the basics. And there's a lot you can do with this, and it's really fun. How you guys doing? What's up? You gonna go in there? Okay. All right, man. Hey, what's up, David? David, how's it going? You okay, David? You okay? All right. David's just a businessman. He's standing on business. What can we say? Anyway, that's gonna be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. It was a lot of fun, and I think you guys are gonna have some pretty awesome, amazing creations, and I can't wait to see what sort of stuff you guys got cooking up. So that's gonna be it for the video. I'll see y'all later. Have an awesome day, and if you really want, feel free to subscribe. But other than that, for like the third time,